Hi, I'm Marty Murphy, and I've been coming to fellowship for close to 25 years, been on the elder board for over 10 years, and we are here today just to talk to you about what we look at in the future of fellowship and how our youth can be involved. And today we'll have a group of our youth, along with some of our leaders and committee of the Black History Month celebration that we've been doing, to have a candid talk about how we can engage the youth and help them to move forward as being future leaders of Fellowship Missionary Church.
I think Fellowship has grown because they've been intentional in what they've done in the past, intentional in obtaining the African American families here at Fellowship. They've been intentional by going in the community, and I think that needs to continue to be intentional. And then when it comes to the youth, be intentional in bringing them together with adults and not wait until they become adults or wait till later in life and then expect them to take the reins.
Building relationships with staff members, with people within the body. By forming those relationships, if you have opinions, if you have suggestions, people are more than willing to listen to those. With you, Marty, just the fact that we celebrate African American History Month in the way that we do, that was your brainchild, and making it happen. And I think those things are welcome here, but you have got to be willing to speak up, not be afraid to ask, to get involved, and to form relationships with the body so that these things can happen and change can come, or new programming can, materialize.
I've been in a part of the youth program here since second grade, and you do see a lot of, just like my African American friends kind of fall away and not come back. I've seen from different examples of friends that have I've been able to work with or have seen that have stayed, as they've just built a bond with those within the community. And there are so many other programs that could be so enriched by having individuals of minority leaders and so on taking initiative and becoming part of that change.
What I hope personally is responsibility. And I believe that there's responsibility on both sides. It's the responsibility of the veteran person, and then also the responsibility of the new person coming in. New African Americans come on board or on staff. I feel like there's a personal responsibility for me to help acclimate them to the environment. And, there's also responsibility for that person coming in to allow people to get to know them so that relationship can form.
Most of the African American kids, they don't feel comfortable in telling about how their school is or how their home life is. They're not really comfortable of telling other people, so they're scared. Like some of them, they don't have a father, they have a mother. They go to foster homes. It's not just only African American kids. It's all races.
Right, absolutely,
sure.
Most
absolutely.
kids that we have to pray for.
I would love to hear Mara's perspective, being that she's recently here in town.
I actually didn't even grow up in the church. I became a Christian a little over a year ago, so I'm still a baby Christ. And one thing, though, that really pushed me at my church back home was we're very vulnerable back there. And I think vulnerability is something that's so important because being young, you're afraid to step out into the real world, and you're afraid to be on stage unless you have that passion for it, and you're afraid to go out of your comfort zone. And so when you see those that you look up to knowing, hey, I'm afraid, but I'm gonna do it afraid, then they're like, okay, well, if you're not afraid, or you are afraid and you're still gonna do it, then I can do that too. Kids truly, truly look up to people that are older than them, and they see them as superheroes. And I went into summer camp last year with a group of girls that I didn't know because things got switched up, and I was so afraid that I was not gonna be the role model for them that I needed to be. And God was like, you know what, don't act like you have your life together, and don't act like when you get to high school or when you get to college, life is going to be figured out, because it's not. And you're not going to know everything, but me, your father, I know everything. And with being real with them and being so vulnerable with them and letting them know, hey, I went through this as a kid too. I've dealt with depression too, the same way you guys may have, and it still comes every now and then, but God is taking care of me in the midst of my brokenness.
Us coming together, learning from each other, that's what it's all about, coming together. So we don't want to stop that, but that's where we're depending on you, youth, to, you know, take that baton and continue this on.
You can't sit back on Sunday and just sit and get, you know, you have to say, okay, this is my church, okay? I want to be a part of my opinion, and your opinion is valued. I've been in this church a long time, and opinions are from African Americans are valued, but the youth need to see others out there working with them, doing those things, opening up their homes, you know. And if we're not setting an example, what can we expect from the youth?
I encourage, you know, minority leaders and those that want to be and that have a heart for the youth to step up and to come out to, you know, Upward, you know, Wednesday nights, you know, Sunday for high schoolers, you know, Top Town, all those different, Awana. I mean, there's so many programs for the youth.
That's why I think vulnerability is huge, because you get to speak on your heart and let them know, you know, our skin may be different, but our heart is the same.
Exactly.
For someone who works with you every day, I challenge you to speak up, because I'm impressed with the three of you. You guys have a lot of talent. Don't be afraid to showcase your talent.
Exactly.
You are appreciated, you're loved, and the more we see our youth, the more we can put you in leadership roles, and you hopefully have a desire to be in leadership roles.
For sure.
This is not a church that belongs to the older people. This is a church that belongs to all people. And your input is very important to
For
us,
sure.
because as I have my AARP card, I got to pass the torch to somebody. And if you three are an example of who that can be, I feel very good about it. Don't be afraid to speak up.
For sure. Yeah.
Thank you.